Part 99. Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 981. Man Bao ate dinner and finished the rest of the afternoon homework. Then, she sat on the threshold of her house in a daze with her chin propped up. As the night got heavier, the person she was waiting for hadn't come yet. Bai Shan, who was sitting beside her, turned his head and asked Daji, "What time is it?" Daji said, "Su time has passed." Bai Shan said to Man Bao, "It looks like it won't come, let's go back." The voice just fell, and Bai Erlang came out with a piece of snack in his hand. "Sir told you to go back, it's been a while, since people didn't come, they didn't come." After Bai Erlang finished speaking, he leaned on the door frame and said, "Congratulations, you saved a night in prison." Bai Shan said, "If we are caught, you will definitely not be able to run away. You are with us." "That's not it, I'm at most an accomplice, and the main culprit is you." Man Bao patted his butt and got up, and said, "I will tell the official that you are the main culprit." Shiro. Bai Erlang looked at Daji, "Did you see it? Go in and see Mr. later. You have to testify for me. They bullied me." Dagil looked down at the tip of his shoe. Bai Shan and Man Bao saw it, pinched their waists and laughed. Bai Erlang pointed at Daji and said, "Daji, you are also learning more and more from them." Mr. Zhuang was standing in the yard with his hands behind his back and looking up at the moon. When he heard the sound of the three of them fighting, he took his eyes back and looked at them. The three met the eyes of Mr. and immediately became honest. Mr. Zhuang said, "It's getting late. Go wash and sleep. Since no one is looking for you tonight, there shouldn't be any tomorrow." Man Bao said, "Sir, do you think Yin or is blocking it?" Mr. Zhuang nodded at her and said, "You are naughty. You know that their family is not good enough to provoke them." Man Bao said, "It's because the other people in their family are not easy to provoke, so they went to find someone who is easy to provoke. At least Yin or looks reasonable." Bai Shan nodded, "Sir, I just knew that Yin or had so many diseases. Now that you know it, you must get along well in the future. It is a kind of fate for you to be classmates, so cherish it." Man Bao nodded again and again. Mr. Zhuang was angry when he saw her. "Aren't you going to take a rest? The patient you saw today didn't respond, can you still not respond tomorrow? You are a scholar, how can you call someone crazy like this? Not gentle at all." Man Bao turned around and ran away, whispering, "Don't scold it around the corner, is it just gentle to scold?" Bai Shan and Bai Erlang also ran away, leaving Mr. Zhuang alone to blow his beard and stare in the yard. The next day, Bai Shan and Bai Erlang successfully arrived at Kuazijian to go to school, and Man Bao also smoothly entered the pharmacy for consultation. After seeing the patients who were returning to the clinic, Man Bao was still not willing to leave. She held her chin and waited for two people. One was the man who was misled by her yesterday to settle the bill, the other was Yin Or. But she didn't wait for anyone. Man Bao felt that the former didn't come to her, maybe because she hadn't reacted yet, and she was still drinking hot soup, but the latter didn't come to her. Man Bao sighed regretfully, and for this reason, he and Mr. Zhuang took a half-day leave, and deliberately waited in the pharmacy until they got off school. Bai Shan got into Daji's car and picked her up, saying, "Don't wait, he left after school, and he didn't pay much attention to me when I talked to him. Bai Shandao, this is the first person I've been ignoring, but people have ignored me." Man Bao took the things and said, "Congratulations to you, I experienced the feelings of your classmates facing you before." Bai Shan glanced at her and said, "It's not that I didn't let him see a doctor, so why are you angry with me?" Man Bao put the basket on his back and felt that it was really bad for him to express his anger, so he apologized, "Okay, it's my fault." Bai Shan helped Man Bao into the car, and when Man Bao got in the car, he found out that Bai Erlang was not there, and asked curiously, Where's Bai? He went to play with his classmates. They will have a rest tomorrow. They are not in a hurry to do their homework and plan to play on the street. Bai Shan hung the curtains and asked, "Are you going?" Man Bao shook his head, "No, I have to go back and read the book and think about Yin Or's illness." Bai Shan was very curious, "Is he seriously ill?" Man Bao nodded heavily. Last night, she and Mr. Mo discussed his pulse case, and Mr. Mo judged after synthesizing what she said, his depression is already quite serious, but he can still be treated. But the most important thing is his frail disease. I read the pulse case you wrote. I suspect that he has multiple organ failure, and this kind of disease is not easy to treat even here. Teacher Mo said, and the worst case is that multiple organ failure may also be accompanied by genetic defects and other diseases. Unfortunately, the inspection methods in your place are limited, and you can only rely on seeing, hearing, asking, and seeing a doctor, otherwise. Man Bao asked, "What is a genetic defect?" Gene defect and gene instability are the most serious and common diseases here. It is UN #U0026. Man Bao listened quietly and blinked. Teacher Mo also saw the text translated by the transliterator. After a moment of silence, he changed his voice and said, "Anyway, it is a very serious disease. It is difficult to cure it. It is very difficult for them, and there is not necessarily 1 in 10,000 cases that can be cured." He estimates that with Manbao and the others, it is basically impossible to cure. However, although there is no cure, it is still possible to curb the disease and relieve the pain. Mr. Mo said at the time that he would search for relevant knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine after he went back. He should first raise his body and treat depression at the same time, which should make his body better. Teacher Mo said, "No matter how bad it is, he can always live to 70 or 80 years old." Man Bao paused when he heard it at the time, and then said, "Live to 70 or 80 years old. Is that still not cured? How can it be cured? Dying in one's youth is a very painful thing." Man Bao was stunned and asked, You are only young in your 70s or 80s, so how old are you?" 50. From the ancient times of human beings who can live to 50 is considered a long life. Teacher Mo glanced at the screen at the time and smiled, "In our opinion, you are still a child." Man Bao asked, "How long can you live?" Teacher Mo said, "The current average life expectancy is 228 years old." He paused and said, "It is precisely because the lifespan of intelligent creatures is getting longer and longer that our technology can progress so fast, and you and I can communicate like this. The dream of many people in the Alliance is longevity. That's why so many people want to seek genetic breakthroughs." Of course, he wouldn't say this to Manbao. Manbao also has his own thoughts derived from this information. At this moment, she remembered the conclusion that Teacher Mo gave to Yin Or yesterday. Based on his proportion, it is of course impossible for Yin Or to live to 70 or 80 years after treatment. They are 20 years old here, so. Man Bao sighed, "He's so white and well behaved, it's a pity not to see a doctor." Bai Shan. Next update around 6 p.m. Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 982. Tomorrow is the first day of the 8th lunar month, the day of the banquet in the Yizhu Palace. In order to wait for Yin or see a doctor, Man Bao didn't go home to see if the flowers were sold. When she got home, she ran to the backyard to find Wu Zhou. Seeing that she was going to run out, Mr. Zhuang stopped her and said, "Your fifth brother sold the flowers, and came back with a pot of ancient roses and went out, saying that the royal palace of Yizhu said that good things are coming. In pairs, they also need a pot. Did they force buy?" Mr. Zhuang pointed to her room and said, "Your fifth brother has already brought the money back, you can count it yourself." Man Bao asked Bai Shan to count the silver together. Bai Shan doesn't want to go, and it's not his own money, what's the point of counting? He said, "We have activities in our school during the Mid-Autumn Festival. I don't know whether the doctors want us to write poetry or do other things, so I have to read the book. You can count it yourself." "You're still angry, didn't I just praise Yin or a few words?" Mr. Zhuang, who was about to turn back to the study, paused and asked, "Why are you related to Yin or again?" Man Bao covered his mouth. Bai Shan smiled, left her to face Mr. Zhuang alone, and slipped back to the study by himself. Mr. Zhuang did not prohibit Bai Shan from interacting with Yin or others. After all, the two were classmates. If they avoided it, it would be a grudge. But he didn't want Man Bao and the Yin family to get too close. "If it's just an ordinary person who wants to see a doctor, it's fine if I can treat it. What does it look like to deliberately lure people to see a doctor? The Yin family's situation is complicated. Who knew that she was so hooked to see a doctor? What would the Yin family think?" The Yin family had no idea, because they didn't know anything at the moment, and Yin didn't tell the family anything. At that time, they were the only ones in the car, and there were no servants of the Yin family, let alone the Yin family. Yin he just came back from school, and before he even got to his grandmother's yard, he heard the noise inside. He couldn't help but stop. He turned his head and asked the servant, "Why is the house so lively? Auntie and the others are back and are talking to the old lady." Yin Yu asked, "Why are you so lively?" The servant whispered, "Today, the imperial censor is impeaching the master, and there are 3 uncles in the family, so." Yin he understood as soon as he heard it. He turned around and left, leaving a message, "If my grandmother asks, she will say that I went back to my yard. Mr. has assigned a lot of homework. But young master, Thai Dr. Tan is also here, waiting in the hospital. When you see the old lady, you will go to see a doctor." Yin or pursed his lips, "Isn't it all the same?" The servants of the Yin family were trembling, but they dared not think so. A little girl had already rushed into the room to report, and before Yin or a few steps, the elder sisters filed out and held Yin or back and said, "Little brother, what should I do if I don't enter the house when I come here, and the wind blows outside?" After saying that, he dragged Yin or into the house. As soon as Yin he was seated, Mrs. Yin stopped talking about impeachment and not impeachment, but ordered, "Go, please come over here." Thai Dr. Tan was still young, just in his prime. Today, he just gave Yin or pulse as usual. A rough touch didn't seem to change, but a careful touch showed that the young master's stagnant symptoms were getting worse. Tai Tan raised his head and glanced at the women in the room, sighed in his heart and said the same words as before, and then let Yin or more rest and take medicine on time. Yin or lowered his eyes and glanced down, seeing that the prescription prescribed by Tai Tan was the same as before, so he withdrew his gaze. The Yin family went to see Imperial Dr. Tan. Yin Wei felt a little irritable and got up and said, "Grandmother, eldest sister, second sister, third sister, fourth sister, fifth sister, sixth sister, I'm going back. Go, go, someone, bring the cloak to the young master, don't blow the wind." "Yin," he said, "it's only the end of July, and it's still hot." "Then don't have a cloak, bring an umbrella, be careful, and don't let the wind blow the young master." Yin or pursed the corners of his mouth, turned around and left. When Mrs. Yin waited for her grandson to leave, she said to a group of granddaughters, "Okay, it's not a big deal, I'll be fined some salary, write a letter of defense, or just lose a first and second level official, go home." "Grandmother, isn't this a big deal? It will also improve your memory, and don't block people when there is some trouble in the future." Sister Yin said, "We didn't want to do anything either. We didn't hit or scold anyone. We just wanted to talk to that young master Bai and not allow him to bully our younger brother. Didn't Kilang say it? He didn't quarrel with anyone, he wasn't bullied, he just talked a little bit too fast. If he's not aggressive, will the younger brother speak in a hurry?" Mrs. Yin raised her forehead and asked, then are you going to the censor's desk to fight with the censors? Sister Yin and the others stopped talking immediately. The second sister Yin looked at her sister and then at the third sister and smiled, grandmother, we have no other intentions, we just think that this young Master Bai and his senior sister, the one with the surname Zhou, don't take our Yin family seriously. Here, we just went to find them, and before we had time to speak, she just talked a lot, not all of them were assigned to us, and this caused such a thing. What can a new kid in Beijing know? Mrs. Yin said, you can't find someone to talk to. What does it look like when you are stuck on the road like this? Also, did you call the people who went to Jishitang yesterday to make a fool of yourself? Went. When Sister Yin wanted to tell the difference, Mrs. Yin patted the table lightly and said, aren't you making a fool of yourself? There is a Dr. Zheng in the Imperial Hospital in Jishitang. If you go to Jishitang, how can we give it to Qilang in the future? Doctor, please. 10 Imperial physician's family has been in friendship with our family for decades. But he can't cure Qilang's disease. Mrs. Yin suddenly became angry, and clapped her hand on the table to increase her strength. She said angrily, can't we hire a doctor with better medical skills? The Yin sisters stopped talking for a while. The current impeachment is still light, that is, the family is not strict. Yesterday, the censors couldn't get the evidence, so they let it go. If the censors knew about the post last night, it would not only be a big deal. Uncle and second uncle, even your father has to take off a layer of skin. The Yin sisters bowed their heads, but they felt a little disapproving in their hearts. I am afraid that these things they do are not even small disasters. Those playful children in Beijing, all year round, ride horses in Beijing, and fight rampantly in Beijing, the troubles are too big, but theirs. Is something wrong with Dad? They were just worried that their younger brother would block people in the street. Seeing them like this, Mrs. Yin couldn't take care of them anymore. She waved her hand and said, I'm getting old and my energy is low. Since you don't listen to the persuasion, there's no need to come back and tell me about this kind of thing, just tell your father. How could the Yin sisters have the courage? They all shrank their heads and did not speak. Mainly, they really didn't expect such a big riot this time. There are usually impeachments from the censors, but at most it's nothing. But today, my husband came back and said that the censor's desk seemed to be very angry. Want to cut their officials. Next update around 10 p.m. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 983. Wu Wulang carried a box into the house, opened it to Man Bao, and said Le Dao Tao, 400 taels, how's it going, isn't it amazing? Man Bao touched a large ingot of silver and asked, Fifth brother, I've counted it, and the total amount of silver in the house is 625 taels, which is more than I expected. Isn't what you said, just charge a high price and let them lower the price, Wu Wulang said. I talked to the steward of the palace several times about the price, and the pot of chrysanthemum sold for 245. 2. Chang'e flying to the moon sold 380 taels. But I said, that flower is very rare, and there is only one pot in the whole of Jin. The pot of ancient roses I took out in the afternoon was golden yellow. When they saw it, their eyes lit up. When I saw it, I bid a higher price, and it was finally squeezed to 400 taels. Man Bao was speechless. 3 pots of flowers are more valuable than the food our family produces in a year. By Shandao, it's best not to spread this kind of thing out, otherwise there will be more people planting flowers in the future, and fewer people will plant the land. However, if you spend more, it will be worthless. Bai Erlang raised his head from the dim sum and said vaguely, who would be so stupid to use the land for growing food to grow flowers? Bai Shan glanced at him and said, wealth and silk are heartwarming, a pot of flowers can be sold for 400 taels, at the current grain price, 400 taels can buy 40,000 buckets of grain, which means that a pot of flowers can be exchanged for 40,000 buckets of grain. You say they are willing to grow flowers or food. Bai Erlang, what's the matter? It's not like a pot of flowers can sell for 400 taels. It's like the ancient roses brought back by Man Bao. This is the first time I've seen and heard of it when I grow up. Bai Shan, you know, but ordinary people don't know. They only know that someone sells flowers, and a pot sells 400 taels. Mr. Zhuang nodded, and was about to express his approval when Man Bao had already said, oh, stop arguing. Rare flowers are expensive and it's not just starting now. They've been around since ancient times. Orchid, peonies, cheap 1 or 2 taels, expensive ones can be sold for thousands of taels. The annual flower festival is very lively, and I have never seen anyone use the land for growing food to grow flowers. In this world, how many people can buy these flowers at high prices? They are not wealthy businessmen, they are nobles, or they are powerful families. Man Bao said, this kind of flower business can only be done once or twice. The same flower, you sell the first time. 3 times, the guests will come to the door. Mr. Zhuang stopped talking. Bai Erlang said, you sold 20 pots of white peony before. That's because I only sell 20 taels. If I sell more than 200 taels, see if I will sell the second pot. Man Bao pointed to the flowers under the porch outside. Look, I buy the flowers that come back are not exactly the same in any pot. Either the type is different, or the color is different, or it is different anyway. Everyone looked out and found that it was true, and they were silent for a while. So what kind of flower planting encroaching on the land for growing food will not happen to ordinary people's homes, but only among flower farmers? Mr. Zhuang couldn't help but nodded slightly. Wu Wulang didn't understand this, he only cared a little. Where do you want to keep so much money? Is it safe to keep it in the house? It's very safe, didn't I just give you money from the house before? As soon as Wu Wulang thought about it, he picked up the box and said, okay, I'll take it to the house for you. Man Bao happily went back to the house with Friday Lang. Man Bao opened the previous cash box, picked out the scattered 25 taels from it and handed them over to Wu Wulang, and said generously, fifth brother, this is for your hard work. Wu Wulang took the silver and said, is it a bit too much? Did you pay enough for the flour? How much did you spend on the flour at the time? It cost a lot, but I also made money, and I made a lot of money. Would I do a business that doesn't make money? Wu Lang I thought about it too. After all, the reserve price they set was there, so he accepted it with peace of mind. Then I'll go back to the restaurant first. Are you going back? Won't you stay and have dinner with us? Friday Lang said, the restaurant is the busiest in the evening. I have to go back and help them. Man Bao sent him out and asked, how is the restaurant's business these days? It's a little weaker, but with old customers, the income is okay. Anyway, it looks a little better than a few restaurants nearby. Man Bao nodded, take your time, you'll be fine as you get older. Friday Lang asked in a low voice, how many years do you think our family can do? Man Bao is still very confident in their overturning the case, so he said, I want to do it for a few years. Friday Lang laughed, patted Yao Mei on the shoulder, drove out his mule cart, greeted Lu Gui and the others, and left. After watching the fifth brother walk away, Man Bao bounced back to her room. She touched the silver ingots in the box, felt their texture and weight, and then happily received them in the system space. Because the next day was the first day of the new year, and the 3 of them had a rest, it was rare for Man Bao to stay in bed. She didn't get up until the sun had risen, and after a leisurely breakfast, she wandered to the small garden to find Bai Shan. Bai Shan got up a little earlier than her, and was standing under a tree with his hands behind his back, shaking his head in endorsement. Man Bao quietly moved from behind him before walking behind him. Just as he was about to scare him, Bai Shan suddenly turned his head and shouted wow, and Man Bao also shouted ah when they got up. Neither was frightened. Bai Shan said, "You are so naive, you are still playing this when you are so old. You don't pay attention to your endorsement. You don't even look where the sun shines from. I only saw your shadow when you got behind me." Man Bao looked down and it was true. She looked left and right and asked, "Where's Bai Er? I haven't gotten up yet. I didn't see Mr. just now. Mr. said that there is a poetry meeting in the ink studio of the first day of the first year, and there will be new poetry collections for sale, so he went to have a look and went out early in the morning." Man Bao found a piece of grass that had been dried by the sun and sat down, and asked, "Where do you want to play today? I also want to go shopping in the street. Didn't you say you wanted to find a book last time? It just so happened that I wanted to buy a picture book. Let's go shopping in a bookstore later." Man Bao nodded again and again, "Okay, okay." The voice just fell. Lu Gui came in quickly from the outside, bowed and said, "Miss Man, Ji Shitang has come, and said that the patient you were waiting for has arrived." Man Bao asked lazily, "Who is it?" "That bastard who was tricked by me the day before yesterday." "No, it's the young master of the Yin family." Man Bao's eyes lit up, jumped up and ran. "Let him wait, I'll go get the basket." Before he could speak, the person had already run away. Bai Shan took the book and said to Daji, "Go for a set of cars." Daji responded and turned to leave. The next update will be around 11:30 p.m. Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 984. When Man Bao ran out of the second hospital with the basket on his back, Bai Shan was already waiting in the carriage. Man Bao supported the carriage and jumped up, and handed the back basket to Bai Shan to take it in. She sat panting across from Bai Shan, and seeing that he still had a book in his hand, she asked, "Aren't you? Go back and get something. For example, money or something. Daji has it. If you want to buy something, you can borrow it from Daji first." Man Bao, "I brought the money." Daji had driven the car out under their gossip, and took the guys from Ji Shitang to Ji Shitang. Man Bao curiously lifted the curtain of the car and talked to the guy in the car, "Is it really Yin or come to see me?" The man and Man Bao were also quite familiar, so he turned sideways and said, "Yeah, our shopkeeper was taken aback, and now we have invited young Master Yin to wait in the back hall. He sees that Dr. Zhou is not available. If you want to leave," the big shopkeeper left people behind, and then let Xiao Fei run over and ask Xiao Zhou to go back. Man Bao became happy, and Bai Shan asked, "Did he come alone, or with whom?" "He only brought a servant with him." The man smiled when he said this. "This is rare, because Master Yin usually takes a bunch of servants with him when he goes out. For fear of being bullied, people outside see him with a servant. So many people are afraid to meet." Bai Shan and Man Bao looked at each other and didn't ask any further questions. When he arrived at Ji Shitang, Man Bao jumped out of the carriage and ran in, for fear that the patient he had rarely found would run away again. Bai Shan slowly got out of the car with the back basket in the back, and put the books in his hand into the back basket together, and then he carried it into Ji Shitang. Yin or couldn't sit still, drank half a cup of tea, and found that Man Bao hadn't arrived yet, so he got up to leave. Shopkeeper Zhengda hurriedly kept people, but Yin or didn't want to stay any longer, so he didn't say anything, just nodded to shopkeeper Zhengda and left. Man Bao jumped in from outside, his eyes widened when he saw Yin. He panted and asked, "Are you here to see a doctor?" Yin or wanted to say no, but Man Bao turned sideways and said, "My clinic is outside, come with me." After saying that, he turned around and walked out. Yin or paused, and could only lift his heels. Man Bao explained as he walked, "Today is the first day of the new year, and I take 2 days off every 10 days, the same time as your Kuaza school. But I told the shopkeeper, you are my patient, if you come, ask someone to call me, my house is very close to here." Yin-or glanced at her and felt that she was as talkative as his sisters, but she felt completely different from them. Bai Shan was already waiting in the consultation room with the basket on his back. He was putting out the things in the same way, and nodded when he saw Yin-or come in. Yin-or's servants and Daji stood outside the clinic together, and the two servants looked at each other and were not very friendly to each other. But there was another scene in the room. Man Bao lit the stove to boil water and asked Yin-or, "Do you want tea?" Before Yin-ji could speak, she already said, "I don't like drinking tea very much, and Bai Shan doesn't like it either. We all drink boiled water. You are sick and you need to take medicine, so it's best not to drink tea." After saying this, Man Bao still asked, "Do you want tea?" Yin-or looked up at her and said, "Didn't you say I'd better not drink tea?" "Yeah, but what if you like it?" Yin-or tilted his head and asked, "If I like it, it's okay to be bad for my health." Man Bao hesitated for a moment and said, "It depends on the situation. In fact, some teas don't have much effect on medicine. If you really want to drink it, I'll make it for you." He just said, "Then make me a cup of tea." Man Bao responded and went out to find tea for him, leaving Bai Shan and Yin-or sitting together. At a diagnosis table, Yin-or and Man Bao sat opposite each other, while Bai Shan pulled a small stool and sat beside him. As soon as Man Bao left, the two looked up and looked at each other. Bai Shan said, "I thought you wouldn't come." Yin-or lowered his eyes and did not speak. Bai Shan turned around and went to the stove, and took out some charcoal stuffed slowly inside to make the fire a little more vigorous. Yin-or eyes followed his movements, and when he saw him fiddling with the charcoal lightly, he couldn't help but relax. Bai Shan set the fire in the stove, then turned slightly back to Yin-or and asked, "Yin-or, do you have any friends?" Yin-or pursed the corners of his mouth. Bai Shan said, "Is it very few?" "I have very few friends, but there are 1 or 2 people I can talk to. Every time I have something in my heart, I will talk to them." Yin-yu asked, "Why did you tell me this?" Bai Shandao, "I didn't have any malice towards you at first. In my eyes, you are no different from other classmates in the class. I only started to hate you the day before yesterday." Yin-he's mood was up and down. Bai Shan knew that he was excited when he saw his chest heaving and the corners of his eyes started to turn red again, but he didn't know it, and he still had a cold face. "Bai Shandao, your sisters are too domineering. I've seen domineering people too, but this is the first time I've encountered a grudge over such a trivial matter, but after talking with you in the car the day before yesterday, I feel that this matter is not the same. It's not your fault, so I don't hate you anymore. But I found out that a lot of people in school don't seem to like you," Bai Shan said. "No one knows that you are sick, no one knows that you don't want to cry, you are just sick, and your body doesn't allow you to have too much. It's just emotions. Do you want to carry these misunderstandings for the rest of your life?" Yin-or suddenly said loudly, "A lifetime is not long." Bai Shan looked at him condescendingly. Yin-he's eyes turned even redder. He took a deep breath, calmed down slightly, and said, "Let them misunderstand, I don't need friends." "Then what are you doing here?" Yin-or Pai's face turned paler. He stood up, turned around and was about to leave, but Man Bao just happened to take a paper bag in and said, "I found a tea, it smells pretty good, it's relatively light, just right for you. Is the water boiling?" The last sentence is for Bai Shan. Bai Shan stretched out his hand to look at it and said, "It's almost there." Man Bao was satisfied. Seeing Yin-or standing with a white face, he stuffed the tea into Bai Shan and asked him to make tea. Then he looked at Yin-or worriedly and said, "What's the matter, Are you uncomfortable? Yin he glanced at Queen Bai Shan and said, no, I'm leaving. How about that, I haven't given you a pulse yet. Didn't you see it the day before yesterday? But you refused to answer my question at that time, and a person's pulse will change, not to mention every other day, it will be different every hour, so you have to check the pulse again. Yin Or looked at Man Bao quietly, and asked after a while, how old are you this year? Man Bao was stunned and said, it's 15. Bai Shan almost choked on his own saliva. He stared at Man Bao, knowing that she wanted to grow up quickly. She likes to talk about her age, and her birthday is small, she can make her 2 years old, but she is not like her before turning 13, jumped directly to 13 and 2 years old. Yin he also looked at her suspiciously, are you 15? Only 1 year younger than me. Man Bao was refreshed and asked, are you a false age or a real age? Real age. Man Bao looked him up and down, it seems that your health is really bad. He was actually 16 years old, he looked similar to Bai Shan, and even because he was thin, Man Bao felt that he was younger than Bai Shan for a while. Good night. Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 985. When Man Bao was talking, he pressed Yin Or on the stool, then went back to his seat. Come on, let's check the pulse first. Yin Or hesitated for a while, but still stretched out her hand to give her a pulse. Man Bao asked while taking his pulse, what medicine are you taking now? Is there a prescription? Yin Or looked up at her and recited the prescription to her. Listening to this, Man Bao nodded slightly and said, it's a very good recipe for nourishing qi and blood. How long have you been taking it? This prescription is 2 years old. Man Bao looked up at him in surprise, hasn't it changed? Keep eating. I didn't eat it all the time. Every 7 days, every 2 days, I only eat some medicinal food to nourish my qi. But not the same prescription for 2 years, right? Man Bao was very skeptical, who prescribed this prescription? Dr. Tan. Yin he looked up at her and said, I think this recipe is pretty good. Except when I'm sick, I basically eat it to keep my body healthy. My body is better than 2 years earlier. Man Bao retracted his hand and asked him to bring his other hand up and touch it again. Yin Or saw her tangled face, which looked very interesting. After waiting for a long time, seeing that she was looking at his tongue coating and his face again, he took the initiative to say, if you have something to say, say it. Is there anything he can't bear? Man Bao said, I think you should change the prescription. Although the medicine you are drinking now is fine, but you have been taking it for 2 years in a row, you shouldn't. Yin Or smiled and said, this is a medicine for nourishing essence and blood. Man Bao was stunned for a moment, then nodded and said, well, after replenishing the qi and blood, the essence and blood will naturally be abundant, so there's nothing wrong with it. Bai Shan, who had just brewed the tea, turned his head and glanced at Yin Or, and then sent the tea to the two of them. He didn't avoid it, and sat directly beside Man Bao and the two. Yin he glanced at him and didn't care. He took a sip of the tea in his left hand. He didn't know if it was because of his emotional vibration or because he was drunk with the steaming tea, and the corners of his eyes were a little red. With blood, you can marry a wife and have children. Man Bao said quickly, I suggest you get married later. How late is the late marriage? Let's get married after the crown, Man Bao said, it's best to get married again in 21 or 2. It's impossible, Thai Dr. Tan said, I can only live to the crown, even if I raise it well, 212 is the limit, so the family plans to let me get married before 18, and I must give birth to a son before 20. Yin he looked at the two of them with red eyes, smiled and said, I'm talking about kissing now. I will decide a marriage a year ago, and I should get married next year. Not to mention Man Bao, even Bai Shandu, who had already heard the words faintly, opened his mouth in surprise and looked at Yin Or in disbelief. Man Bao swallowed his saliva, shook his head and asked, "So this medicine? It's for drinking later." Man Bao and Bai Shan looked at each other, both of them were a little confused. After a while, Man Bao asked, "Then, what about you, do you want to heal me, or continue to drink Thai Dr. Tan's medicine?" Yin He didn't speak for a while, and Man Bao became a little nervous, but he didn't dare to disturb him, so he could only wait quietly for him to make a decision. Bai Shan raised his eyelids and glanced at Yin He, and said, "Confucius said, you don't talk about ghosts, and no one knows whether there are ghosts or ghosts in the world, let alone whether there will be a next life. You are willing to pass the time without knowing it. This life." Yin He's chest rose and fell sharply, and the hands on the table were trembling and clenched tightly together, the corners of his mouth were tightly pursed, and he said after a while, My medicines are all boiled at home, what doctor should I ask for? I can't say what medicine to take." Man Bao immediately said, "It doesn't matter, do you have money?" Yin Or glanced at her and nodded slightly. "That's fine, you give me the money for the medicine, and I'll buy the medicine for you, and I'll ask Bai Shan to bring the medicine to the school for you. I'll pick up Bai Shan every day, and I can bring you more. As for the medicine at home, do you have a potted plant in your house? If you have one, just pour it with water, or pour it into the soft soil outside the window, and no one will find it." Yin Or was stunned when he heard it. He didn't expect the doctor's service to be so comprehensive, and he had even considered this. Bai Shan coughed lightly and said, "It's best to pour it out of the window and put it in a potted plant. It will smell in 2 days." Man Bao thought too, at that time, you and Bai Er were taking medicine, and the reason why Bai Er was discovered was because he always chose a pot of flowers to pour, but you are smart enough to pour it into the ginger, and my sister-in-law said you brought it here. The ginger has a medicinal smell. Bai Shan. Yin Yu asked, "Is medicine expensive?" Man Bao said, "Not expensive, not expensive. Does your family have ginseng?" Yin Or nodded. "Then get ginseng from home, it's cheaper, ginseng toni fees chi, what you lack the most is that breath." Man Bao wrote a prescription for him with a pen, circled the ginseng item, "and then you can stop buying this one." She said, "You already have some foundation, but your body is obviously weak, but it contains dryness and heat, so you have to be calm, and when I help you recuperate, we can do acupuncture." Man Bao said, "After 2 sets of acupuncture, you should try to move." Yin Or tilted his head, "Move?" "That's right, once you have qi, you have to let it flow, so that you can warm the internal organs and make the qi smoother. The 5 viscera are interrelated, and the qi can be angry. If you want to make the qi flow, you have to move." Man Bao, after thinking about it carefully, he said, "You know Hua Tuo, right?" Yin Or, a genius doctor. Man Bao rubbed his palms and said happily, "Yes, it's him, his Wu Qin 11 is good, but you are weak, it is a little reluctant to do a whole set at a time. You can do tiger and bear shows, then you come to our house to play, I will teach you." Yin Or Len nodded. Man Bao arranged it well for him, and told him in detail, and showed him the prescription after prescribing, "Do you want to keep a prescription?" Yin Or looked at her for a while, then nodded slowly. Man Bao copied a copy for him. Yin Or accepting it, Man Bao continued to tell him, "This is a medicine to treat the weak, but in fact you still have a disease, emotional depression." Man Bao said, "Don't take everything too seriously, if you have something on your mind, you can talk to your good friend." Yin He glanced at Bai Shan and said, "I have no friends." Man Base Hun said, "That's fine, you can tell me, I'm a doctor and your friend, I won't tell others about you, this is our most basic professional ethics, blah blah blah." Yin Or listened quietly, the servant outside waited anxiously, and couldn't help but leaned in front of the curtain and said, "Master, we have been out for a long time, we have to go back." Yin He interrupted Man Bao's words and asked, How much does it cost to find you for treatment? Man Bao waved his hand generously and said, I don't want any other money except medicine money. Remembering that he said he had no friends, she added, but our cook wants to make medicine for you, and Bai Shan wants to bring medicine for you. Next time you come to my house to play, you can bring them some gifts. Friends, you come and go twice, you accept my gift, and I also help you. The more you do, the more familiar you become, and the more familiar you become, the more you become friends. Next update around 6 p.m. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 986. Man Bao sent Yin Or out of the house with great enthusiasm, exhorting, you can continue to drink this recipe now, but you won't drink it in the morning of the third day of junior high. I will ask Bai Shan to deliver the medicine to you. I also have this medicine. You have to eat for 7 days and rest for 2 days, when you come to check your pulse, I will change the recipe for you. Yin Or nodded, turned around and reached out to his servant. Chang Shao was stunned for a moment. Yin Or looked down at the purse on his waist, he reacted, and immediately took out the purse and gave it to Yin Or. Yin Or handed the money bag to Man Bao, this is medicine money, not enough for me to give it to you tomorrow. Man Bao poured it out and saw that there were a string of copper coins and a few pieces of silver in it. She said, you don't need to buy ginseng. This money is enough for you to take medicine for a month. Yin Ji didn't expect it to be so cheap, because as far as he knew, every time Imperial Physician Tan came to the door, the family would pay no less than 22 taels just for the consultation, not to mention the gifts given to maintain the relationship such as holidays and birthdays. Yin Or secretly heaved a sigh of relief, it seemed that he still had enough money. Chang Shao glanced at the son and became anxious, Master. Yin Or nodded, supported the little servant's hand, got into the car and left. Man Bao stood at the door of the pharmacy and waved goodbye to him, turned around happily, and almost hit the big shopkeeper as soon as he turned his head. The shopkeeper was also looking in the direction of Yin Or's disappearance. Seeing that the person was walking away, he then retracted his gaze and looked at Man Bao. Man Bao, can you cure young Master Yin's illness? I don't have confidence in healing, but 1 or 2 relief is still possible. How long can you keep him alive? Man Bao said incredulously, 25 or 6. That was better than he expected. The shopkeeper lowered his voice and said, do your best to treat it. This young master's illness is notoriously intractable in the capital. If you can cure him, no, even if it's just he lived 10 years, and you became famous. Man Bao, big shopkeeper, I didn't treat him for the sake of fame. I know that your doctor is benevolent, and you don't see people suffering, so you treat it well, and we can worry about such mundane things. Man Bao, that's not true. If it was just the benevolence of the doctor, she wouldn't have to work so hard, but why should she bother so much? Man Bao coughed lightly and glanced at Bai Shan. Bai Shan had asked Daji to put away everything and asked, are you going home? Man Bao nodded, wait, I'll grab some medicine first. To avoid having to come to get medicine in the morning the day after tomorrow. Man Bao handed over the prescription to the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper looked at it and found that it was a recipe for calming the spleen and nourishing the spleen, so he nodded. Although he didn't know what was special about this recipe, but with Yin Or's body it's fine for him to take these medicines. This ginseng. They have it at home. The big shopkeeper nodded, seeing that she took out a purse to pay, and smiled, you caught this medicine, and the medicine we give to our own doctor is cheaper. Man Bao blinked and understood in seconds, oh, so I can still make extra money, right? The shopkeeper Zhengda stroked his beard and laughed, it's not enough to make extra money, it's just to keep you busy. Man Bao's ability to treat young Master Yin is also very beneficial for them to save the world. Man Bao nodded, and after paying the money and taking the medicine, he deducted the discounted money, and then happily said to Bai Shan, "Go, I'll invite you to eat wontons." "Is the money you deducted enough to eat 3 bowls of wontons?" "Not enough, but I'll add money to it." "I brought money." Bai Shan then said, "Forget it, I'll invite you. Your former son was punished for me once." Man Bao stuffed the money back into his pocket, nodding his head very cheerfully, "Okay, then I want to eat meat with added meat." Bai Shan, "Okay." Bai Shan lowered the curtains to block the sun outside, and asked, "Is it just because of Yin Or's rare illness that you care so much about him?" Man Bao coughed lightly, glanced out the window first, and then whispered to him, "Not all, but this is the main reason, and also, I think he is quite pitiful, and his sisters are too hateful. I've seen domineering people, but I've never seen domineering people so righteous." Man Baodao, "Didn't you say that, sir? We are going to be men with our tails between our heads, their family is powerful, we can't fight them hard, then we will be soft and hard. I don't know if we can break the hard ones, but I'm soft, I'm sure I can't break it." "Aren't you afraid that the Yin family won't want you to treat Yin or treat her disease?" "The body is Yin Or's, as long as Yin Or is willing to do it. Medicine, there is always a way to eat it in the mouth. If the soup is not good, I can still make pills," Man Bao said, "but this is the last resort, after all pills are not as effective as decoctions." Bai Shan nodded slightly. Today is Xiu Mu, and the two of them have plenty of time. They first went to a wonton stall that is said to be delicious and had a bowl of wontons, and then went to the bookstore. And at this moment, Yin Or just returned to Yin's house. As soon as he entered the door on the front foot, the fourth sister and the fifth sister came together on the back foot, and asked anxiously, "Little brother, what are you doing? We went to your yard and found no one, only then did we know that you went out." Yin Or pointed to the things the servants were holding behind him and said, "I was bored at home, I went out to hang out, I saw beautiful fabrics, I thought that my sisters might like them, so I bought some for you, as well as my grandmother's." Fourth sister Yin frowned, "Just let the servants do this kind of thing, and you can also bring the shopkeeper of Buzwang to your door. Where do you need to go out and choose in person? What if you get sick from the wind?" Yin Ori didn't want to listen to her anymore, so he lifted his feet and went to his yard, while instructing the servants on the side, "I haven't settled the bill yet, go and ask the cashier to give the money to the guy who came with me. The next person should get down." Fourth sister Yin was also used to it, and continued to talk after her, "Grandmother is very worried about you. The eldest and second sisters came to see you this morning, but you were not at home. They were very worried." "How about them?" "They took the sixth sister to the Yazhu Wangfu to attend the flower banquet. They were originally going to take you there, little brother. If you want to go out in the future, you have to tell your family, but you can't sneak out anymore. Look, you only brought one servant out this time, what if something happens?" After speaking, he turned back and scolded Chang Shao, "What's the use of keeping you? How do you take care of the young master? The young master does not notify the stable to prepare the cart and the guards when he goes out, so you dare to take the young master out alone. If something happens, I can't forgive you." Chang Shao lowered his head. Yin Or had already closed the umbrella and handed it to Chang Shao, saying, "It's time for lunch. Go to the kitchen and bring lunch to my room. I'll go and say hello to Grandma." Next update around 8 p.m. Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 987. Mrs. Yin was also worried about Yin Or, but seeing him come in with a blank face as usual, she paused for what she wanted to say, and then asked, "What did you do today?" "Just go to the street." Mrs. Yin smiled and said, "It's good to walk, but you are in a bad mood, and you are tired after walking all morning. Go back to eat first and take a break. You didn't have time to take medicine this morning, so you will eat it today. Take the medicine and take a nap again. You don't need to faint at night, just tell the kitchen to do what you want to eat, and have a good rest. Yin or bowed his head in response, got up and stepped back. Mrs. Yin sighed and called the eldest girl in the room to say, let the small kitchen in the young master's courtyard make medicine, avoid the main room, and don't smoke the young master. The big girl should go down. It was more than half an hour when the medicine was ready and delivered to Yin or her. He glanced at the dark concoction and said to the servant, leave it, I'll drink it when it's not hot. The next person responded and backed out. Yin probably doesn't like too many people in the house, and he doesn't like too many noises in the place where he lives, so the servants only serve in the yard, and they have to be gentle. Come, they will be transferred directly. Chang Shao lightly lit a piece of incense, and was about to leave when he saw the young master get up and pick up the bowl of medicine, walk to the back window, pushed it away, and poured the medicine out. Chang Shao, master, didn't Miss Zhou say that you can take this medicine for the time being? A look of boredom flashed between Yin He's brows. He glanced coldly at the black medicine on the ground outside the window and said, since the medicine is about to be changed, what's the difference between taking 1 day less and taking 1 more day? When Chang Shao heard the coldness of the young master's voice, he lowered his head and dared not speak. There have been many servants around the young master, and he has been around the longest. Because I was afraid that the girl would seduce the young master and damage the young master's body, the family only gave the young master a servant. Besides him, he also had a long life. It should be said that the servants around the young master have always called these 2 names. Since he was 3 years old, he began to need the servants to serve him. After a wave of longevity and happiness, he went away. He has been by the young master for the longest time. Stayed for 4 years. Before him, Chang Shao had changed 6, and Fu Shao had 7, and since the young master used him, Fu Shao could only serve in the yard. Others said that he burned high incense, just right to the young master's appetite. Only he knew it wasn't. The longevity and blessings in front were not exchanged by the young master, but each was driven away because the young master did not like it. The young master lost his temper, and showed that he did not like it. Chang Shao observed for a long time before he touched a little etch. The young master did not like the people in the yard to listen to the orders of the young ladies. But in this family, not only the servants outside, but also the servants in their courtyard and the house will listen to the young lady. If the young master gave an order different from that of the young ladies, he must listen to the young ladies first. Above the young ladies is the old lady, and the old lady is the master. In the whole family, except for him, no one would listen to the young master's orders. And it is precisely because of this that he was able to serve the young master for 4 years. Even if he was scolded by the young ladies every once in a while and punished, he still stood firmly in the young master's yard. Chang Shao silently took the medicine bowl and found a free time. Before no one was paying attention, he went to the back window to loosen the soil, and then went to tell Fu Shao, young master wants to plant a banana tree outside the house, saying that he wants to hear the rain beat. The sound of banana leaves? Fu Shao, doesn't the young master always like to be quiet? Yeah, I'm also curious, but when I think about it, the sound of the rain is different from the human voice. Maybe the young master doesn't like listening to human voices, but just likes the sound of rain. When Fu Shao thought about it, he nodded and said, okay, I'll go look for it in the afternoon. If there is one, I'll buy one back. Chang Shao nodded, buy a bigger tree, it will grow faster, buy it and tell me, I'll go plant it. You know, the young master likes to read at the back window, and doesn't like people walking outside. I know. When Fu Shao was gone, Chang Shao exhaled a long breath, feeling that it was too difficult for him. Man Bao, however, was not under any pressure at all. He took the medicine home openly, and discussed it with the cook, Auntie Rong, and helped her boil the medicine every morning when making breakfast. In a bamboo tube. Yin Or willfully poured out the medicine for the night, and then he blinked at Chang Shao, who was digging a hole outside the window. Chang Shao silently dragged the banana tree on the side and said, "Master, I plan to plant a banana tree outside the window, and you can still enjoy the scenery." Yin He nodded, stretched out his hand to close the window, and closed it halfway. "In a moment, you can go to the box of ginseng in the warehouse and say I want it. Longevity should be under. Go to the warehouse only after planting the banana tree." But because he wanted a whole box of ginseng, the people in the warehouse didn't give it to him, but reported to the old lady first. The old lady asked Yin Or the next day, and Yin He said, "I always feel a little uneven at night, so I want to take a box and put it by the bed, and cut a piece and put it in it before going to bed." "Why, is there not much ginseng at home?" "A lot. How come there are not many?" "In that case, I'll have someone send you a good box in a while, and if it's not enough, I'll let Chang Shao go to the warehouse to pick it up." Yin Or should be under. When the ginseng was delivered to Yin Or's yard, Yin Or handed it over to Chang Shao. "Send it to Miss Zhou. The family has checked their home. You should be able to know where their home is, right?" "Yes, Xiao has asked Fu Xiao to inquire, so I will send it." Chang Shao paused and said, "Young master, since you don't want to have a bad relationship with young master Bai, why don't you just send something over there in an upright manner, or else Xiao, go to the kitchen to get some snacks, and then send them to the four treasures of the study." Yin Or silence. Chang Shao said, "If the family knew that you gave Mr. Bai something, they would definitely not have trouble with Mr. Bai again. Mr. Bai knows, and the previous traffic jam of ants will be over." He looked at Yin Or's face carefully, and when he saw that he was not angry, he knew that he had moved, and he continued, "Bai Gongzi is different from Lu Gongzi, and the Bai family is different from the Lu family. The things that the young master sent will definitely be stolen. Don't you have a good talk with Mrs. Bai, Miss Zhou yesterday?" Yin He glanced at him, his chest heaved slightly, and he asked in a shaky voice, "If you are thrown out again, I will ask you." Chang Shao repeatedly bowed and said, "Young master, don't worry, the things we sent will not be thrown out again." With Yin Or's consent, Chang Shao went to the kitchen to pick out some delicious snacks and put them on, and then put 3 sets of the 4 treasures of the study room, mixed the box of ginseng in it, and sent it to their family in an upright manner. Next update around 10 p.m. Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 988. The things were delivered to Manbao's house smoothly. Chang Shao avoided the servants who came with him, handed the box of ginseng to Manbao, bowed, and said, "This is what the young master asked the youngest to give to the young lady." Manbao opened it and looked at it, exclaimed, "It's so good. Of course, there are not many other things in their family, and the things that nourish qi and blood must be the most and the best." Chang Shao saluted, "Miss Zhou, my young master's illness is up to you." Manbao nodded again and assured, "Don't worry, I will do my best." Manbao said that he would try his best, so he went to Bai Shan and Bai Erlang and said, "You should take him to play with him often in school. The book says that talking is one of the ways to ease the mood, and make him a few friends." Bai Erlang said, "I'm in Taixue, far from Kuazixu, so I can't help him, but I can take him to play after school. By the way, isn't he from the capital? Just let him play with us." Bai Shan raised his eyelids and said, "Don't think about it, I'm afraid he's not familiar with the capital yet." "No, he is a native of Beijing." "What's the use of that, he can't go out," Bai Shan said. "Didn't you listen to Lu Huan? He used to come out for banquets between relatives and friends, but he didn't even go to banquets in the past 2 or 3 years, and only stayed in Yin if he didn't go out to the house. If he hadn't gone to Kuazijian to go to school, everyone would probably not recognize him." Bai Erlang, "It's so pitiful, fortunately I'm not sick." Bai Erlang paused when he said this, touched his heart and said, I also lost sleep last night, Man Bao, wouldn't I also be depressed? Man Bao said angrily, you have insomnia? You slept like a dead pig last night, and you can't wake up no matter how you scream. Everyone in this world can be depressed, but you can't. How do you know that I sleep like a dead pig? Bai Shan raised his head and said, you were talking in your sleep last night, and it was so loud that it woke us all up. Man Bao and I both knocked on your window, and you slept like a dead pig. Bai Erlang, what did I say in my sleep? I can't hear you clearly, I only hear you shouting, you lost, I won, etc. What did you play yesterday? I saw someone playing polo. Bai Erlang got excited when he said this, and danced. You don't know how handsome it is to play polo, then the horse is just like its own legs, chasing the ball and running. As soon as the rod is swung, the ball will fly, and some people are very good, and they can catch the ball in the air with the rod. So powerful, so powerful. Bai Shan asked, are you out? No, Bai Erlang lowered his head and said, I'm not very good at riding. Bai Shan was delighted, look, I'll let you learn horsemanship seriously, but now Manbao's horsemanship has caught up with you, and your horsemanship still wants to play polo. Already? Bai Erlang sighed, but quickly cheered up, he said, I have already asked, our new batch of students will also be arranged for riding lessons, but there is no horse for us to rent in the Imperial College, only you can go out to rent, or go out to buy. Every time you have a riding class, you have to ride a horse yourself, and the Imperial College will only supervise us for one day. Bai Shan nodded, obviously he already knew about this situation. He said, there are horses at home. No, the horses at home are not fast enough. I want to learn to play polo, and I have to have a good horse, Bai Erlang said. I have already discussed it with people. I want to buy 1,000 miles horse. Bai Shan thought about it for a while, but didn't think there was anything wrong, but, the stables at home won't be able to keep so many animals. Sell some, Bai Erlang said. Before I came to Beijing to bring so many cars because we had a lot of stuff. Now it's a waste to keep so many cars at home. It's better to sell them. Man Bao immediately said, then I will also buy a foal, I want to raise it myself. Bai Shan nodded, then I'll ask Lu Gui to clean up the stables first, and then we'll go buy horses. The two immediately nodded happily. Bai Shan asked, what kind of horses do you want to keep? Let Lu Gui help you find it and ask about it. No need, Bai Erlang said immediately, I have found my way. Man Bao and Bai Shan looked up at him together. Bai Erlang said proudly, I have seen it, the real Maxima is worth $1,000. The steamed bun on Manbao's chopsticks fell off at once, and Mr. Chuang, who had been eating quietly, also raised his head to look at Bai Erlang. Bai Shan, 1,000 gold? 10,000 taels. What 10,000 taels? That's a way of saying that my horse is very expensive, do you understand? Man Bao and Bai Shan breathed a sigh of relief at the same time, and Mr. Zhuang lowered his eyes and continued to eat. Man Bao asked, how much is that? 1,200 taels. Man Bao simply put down the chopsticks now, and she asked, you are really 1,000 miles away, so expensive. Of course, it was originally 1,500 taels, but we are acquaintances, and he gave me 300 taels cheaper. Bai Shan asked, acquaintance? Who? It's Zhang Jinghao from Artaxio. He knows a horse dealer and has a lot of horses that have not been selected. If you buy them, I think you should go there to buy them too. They are all classmates, and they can also have some discounts. Well, it's better than looking for it in the horse market. Man Bao turned his head and asked Bai Shan, do you know him? Bai Shan frowned and shook his head, I haven't heard of it, but I can ask my classmates tomorrow. Bai Erlang asked unhappily, why, you still don't believe me? Mr. Zhuang put down his chopsticks with a snap, wiped his mouth with a handkerchief, and said, "Don't talk when you sleep, don't talk when you eat, your rules are getting looser and looser, since you're not hungry, don't eat, come to the study." Having said that, he got up and went to the study. The three of them shrank their necks, and Bai Erlang couldn't help but whispered, "Don't we often talk at the dinner table? Mr. never reprimanded us before." Bai Shan and Man Bao glanced at him, "Because you annoyed Mr. Mr. Zhuang waited for the three disciples to stand in a row at the bottom, and then he raised his eyelids and asked, "Let's start with Man Bao and Bai Shan, how did you talk to young Master Yin yesterday?" Man Bao said it one by one. Mr. Zhuang nodded at the two of them and said, you guys, I told you a long time ago that when you arrive in the capital, just study with peace of mind, and forget about other things. Look at what you have done since you entered the capital, which one is it? Reassure me." After the two of them finished talking, they went to stare at Bai Erlang again. "You two, it's rare to have a rest day, and you even went to watch polo." The two of them were not big enough to join in the fun. "Are you coming to add some fire?" Bai Erlang lowered his head and whispered, "Sir, I'm just buying a horse." "You are an ordinary student, why do you buy such an expensive horse?" "You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment." Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Yuzu. Chapter 989. I'm not short of money. Mr. Zhuang was silent for a while and then asked Man Bao, "How much did your Zhuangzi produce this year?" Before Man Bao could answer, Bai Erlang said, "Sir, I also have extra income. I can buy a horse without Zhuangzi's income." "What income do you have?" Bai Erlang straightened his chest and said, "I won a small 200 taels in the game yesterday. If I go a few more trips, Maxima's money will be enough." Man Bao and Bai Shan turned their heads to look at Bai Erlang in surprise, their mouths slightly opened, and they were extremely surprised. Mr. Zhuang's hand trembled when he pointed at Bai Erlang. Man Bao turned his head and saw Mr. S face ashen. For fear that he would push him over, he hurriedly ran up to hold his Hagoek appointment. Mr. Zhuang's mind became clearer, then he shook off Man Bao's hand, pointed at Bai Erlang and said, "Go, bring me a ruler." Bai Shan and Man Bao didn't dare to move, and quickly persuaded, "Sir, don't be angry, junior brother must have a secret." Mr. Zhuang turned around and asked Bai Erlang, "Do you have any secret feelings?" Bai Erlang was stunned. Seeing Bai Shan and Man Bao winking at him, he hesitated, I have a secret, right?" Mr. Zhuang raised his eyebrows and shouted at Bai Shan, "Go, bring me the ruler, are you going to be mad as a teacher?" Bai Shan looked around the room, and finally found the ruler on the bookshelf that Mr. Mr. Zhuang stepped forward with the ruler and shouted to Bai Erlang, "Kneel down for me." Bai Erlang knelt down with a plop, he vaguely understood why he was punished, and quickly defended, "Sir, I'm not gambling, I'm just gambling, betting on which team wins. Many students from Taixio play this game, and the seniors. I also saw a lot of powerful people, adults and female relatives at the racecourse, and even some girls' families play this." Zhang Jinghao said that this is yaxing, not gambling. "Mr. Zhuang, put out your hand." Bai Erlang stretched out his hand tremblingly, and Mr. Zhuang slammed it down with a chisel. It was the first time that Bai Erlang was beaten so hard, so he couldn't help screaming, "Sir, I know I'm wrong, I never again." Mr. Zhuang couldn't help but get angry, "You can admit mistakes so quickly, and you all learned from your senior sister and senior brother. I'm afraid you may not feel that you are wrong. Give me your hand and then stretch out your hand." Bai Erlang stretched out his hand crying, and Mr. Zhuang tried his best to shoot it down again and again. In the past, when he beat a child, he would use some strength when he was angry. Basically, he was tired after hitting a lot, but now, after only 4 or 5 hits, Mr. Zhuang felt a dull pain in his palm. But he didn't stop, he gasped and hit down, with tears in his eyes. You guys are making trouble outside, disregarding your own safety, and you have endured it as a teacher, but you gamble. How many people are there in Qilai village who gamble? A Thursday man is a lesson from the past, and a Joliza is even more painful. Not only do you not learn from the lesson, but you also make excuses. What is yaxing? Gambling is gambling, and you find so many excuses for your teacher. My fight is not only if I want to beat you for being ignorant of etiquette, I will beat you for sophistry, and I will beat you for being stupid. Bai Erlang closed his eyes and cried in pain, but he held his hand up and didn't dare to put it down. Seeing that his palms were bleeding, Man Bao couldn't help but knelt down and said, "Sir, their junior brother knows it's wrong, don't be angry." Bai Shan also knelt down on the other side and said, "Sir, we will definitely teach him well in the future. Don't get angry." Mr. Zhuang ignored them and continued pumping. Man Bao and Bai Shan saw that the blood was flowing out, for fear that he would really hit Bai Erlang's hand, and the husband would also be angry, so they quickly reached out to hug each other. Hold his thigh, one person hugs his hand. Mr. Zhuang struggled for a while, and said angrily, "You let me go, I'm teaching your junior and junior brothers, you are so disobedient and unfilial, I will expel you from the teacher's door." Bai Shan said, "Sir, you taught us, the little one will serve, and the big one will leave to escape the wrath. We are letting you beat the junior brother like this, isn't it injustice for you?" Man Bao turned his head and saw that Bai Erlang was still holding up his hands while crying, so he pulled out his hand and pushed him and said, "What are you doing? Why don't you run away?" Bai Erlang looked at the three of them sobbing, not daring to move. Seeing that he stayed like this, Mr. Zhuang couldn't help raising his hand and was hugged tightly by Bai Shan. Man Bao screamed, "Why are you still in a daze? Do you want to wait for your husband to kill you? Run. If you say to Chu, then go." Only then did Bai Erlang return to his senses. He secretly glanced at Mr. and found that he was not so angry, so he got up and turned and ran away. Mr. Zhuang was so angry that his heart ached. Man Bao and Bai Shan quickly helped him to the seat and sat down. "Sir, I'll show you." Mr. Zhuang was in a hurry, and it wasn't a big problem. Man Bao didn't give him any medicine. He just gave him a few injections to calm him down. Then he and Bai Shan brought hot water to bathe Mr. S feet and serve him. He fell asleep first. In order to make the husband sleep better, Man Bao also gave him a few sleeping needles. When the two went out to find Bai Erlang, he was long gone, and Daji showed them the way. "Master Tang is over there." Man Bao went back to the house to get the basket. Zhou Lejun had just returned from the restaurant when he saw the little ant come in and asked, "Little ant, why did the study just cry and howl?" Man Bao opened his cabinet and pulled out a jar of medicine and said, "It's nothing, Mr. Bai Er got angry and was beaten, you go to sleep first, I'll go see him." Bai Erlang was sitting on Bai Dalan's bed crying. Man Bao and Bai Shan came in with the medicine and the back basket, and Bai Dalan quickly asked, "What's the matter, what did he do to make Mr. angry?" "He didn't tell me why I asked him." The classmate who rented the same yard with Bai Dalan came over to watch the fun. "What's wrong?" "The ugliness of the family should not be made public." Man Bao and Bai Shan raised their heads and smiled at him. "It's all right, senior, go to sleep first, we are about to take him back." Bai Dalan glanced at Man Bao and Bai Shan, and knew that this matter was no small matter. He quickly got up to greet his classmates, and took him back to his room by the way. After the people left, Man Bao asked Bai Erlang to stretch out his hand. Mr. Zhuang was confused. The palm of his hand was not evenly struck the first time, and all the rulers were aimed at the right hand, so there was nothing wrong with the left hand, but the right hand was swollen and red like a stewed pig's trotter. At this time, a lot of blood oozes from the palm of the hand. This is the first time that the palm of the hand bleeds. You can imagine how angry Mr. Zhuang is. Man Bao went to ask Daji to bring a pot of hot water, and cleaned his wound first, and then began to apply medicine. As soon as the medicine was applied, Bai Erlang's tears fell down again. Bai Shan was helping to dig the ointment and said, "You deserve it, you all know it's a gambling game, and there is a gambling word on it, but you actually told your husband that it's not gambling, are you stupid? Good night." Farmer's Blessed Girl. Author, Yu Zhu. Chapter 990. Bai Erlang cried, "I'm like this and you still scold me." Man Bao pressed the palm of his hand heavily, Bai Erlang screamed, and immediately regained his energy. Man Bao asked, "Who took you to gamble?" Bai Erlang sobbed and said, "Everyone went, we just went to see polo, and a lot of people bet, they asked me, I think it's very interesting, isn't it, just to guess which team wins and which team loses? I bet there's not much money, just play it. Can you win 200 taels with little money?" Man Bao said angrily, "Uncle Shi in the county town, does his family have no money? At first, I wanted to play, but now the shop is sold and the field is sold. Now, there is only one house left, and now I can only run a business outside and live, and look at the leprosy in the village. His wife and daughter have asked him to sell, is this miserable enough?" Bai Erlang was stunned. I. Bai Shan asked, "Did Zhang Jinghao take you to gamble?" Bai Erlang thought carefully, shook his head and said, "It's not true, everyone went to play together, and bet is also played together. How did you win so much money?" "I don't know, I just made 4 bets, 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, and I won all of them. At first, I only bet the 22 I had with me, and then I made more and more for no reason." Bai Erlang sobbed and said, "I really don't want to gamble. They all said that everyone in the capital, even the emperor, likes to gamble on polo. This is an elegant thing." Bai Dalan, who stood at the door and listened for a long time, finally understood the reason. He rolled up his sleeves and entered the door. He asked with a cold face, "Have you gone to bed?" Bai Erlang raised his head and looked at his elder brother with tears in his eyes. Bai Dalan was not soft-hearted, he lifted him up and pressed him on his leg to spank. Compared with palm spanking, his butt with a lot of flesh obviously didn't hurt much, but Bai Erlang was still screaming. Neither Bai Shan nor Man Bao stopped him. "A spanking won't hurt anyway." Bai Dalan slapped him 7 or 8 times and stopped when he hurt his hand. Bai Erlang lay on the bed and cried, not wanting to stay with his eldest brother. Man Bao helped him bandage his hands and said, "Let's go home." Bai Dalan said, "Let him sleep here, don't go over and make Mr. unhappy again." Bai Shan said, "Senior brother has to go to school tomorrow, let him go back to his own room to sleep, Sir has already slept, and you also know that Sir is always generous, since he has already punished him, he will not do it again. Hit him for it?" Man Bao nodded. As soon as Bai Erlang heard that his husband was asleep, he immediately got up and went back to his room. Bai Shan supported him, while Man Bao carried the basket, and the 3 of them went home together. Bai Dalan had a livid face and called Gao Song, "Tomorrow you go to inquire about a man named Zhang Jinghao." He paused and said, "From tomorrow onwards, you have to keep an eye on the second young master. He is not allowed to wander outside after school." Takamatsu quickly responded. Bai Erlang snorted and lay on the bed, feeling a little terrified just a moment ago. "Will Mr. Bai Shandao, depending on the situation, you have to be really afraid. Go to school early tomorrow, don't you avoid Mr., and go to Mr. S place to apologize when you come back." Hearing this idea, Bai Erlang calmed down a little, and fell asleep the next moment. It's just that although he fell asleep, he still trembled and cried from time to time. Bai Shan turned off the lights, and when he saw Gao Song coming back from next door, he waved to him and said, "You should sleep outside him tonight to see if he will be frightened, and be careful of getting hot late at night." Takamatsu also had to respond, and cautiously entered the room and paused. Bai Erlang had nightmares at night. He cried for a while in the dream, but he didn't have a fever. When he woke up the next day, there was nothing wrong with his eyes being red and swollen. Man Bao sliced the ginseng sent by Yin Or, weighed it and divided it, and handed it to Aunt Rong together with the medicine bag, and let her boil the concoction in a bamboo tube. Bai Shan ate early, put the sealed bamboo tube in the book basket and went out. Mr. Zhuang walked around and didn't find Bai Erlang, so he asked, "Where's Bai Er?" Bai Shan lowered his head in a guilty conscience and said, "Their junior brother knew he was wrong, so he went to school early in the morning. It was quite early, and he didn't even eat breakfast. As soon as he got up, he slapped his face with his swollen eyes and let Takamatsu put a carriage in a carriage to go to school. It was estimated that he was having breakfast outside." Mr. Zhuang glanced at Bai Shan and Man Bao, and snorted, "Let him come back earlier in the afternoon, I have something to tell him." Bai Shan responded. Bai Shan went to school, and Man Bao immediately picked up the basket and followed. Daji first sent Man Bao to Ji Shitang, and then sent Bai Shan to Kuazijian. Bai Shan carried the book basket into the classroom, looked around and saw Yin Or, put down his book basket, took out the medicine cartridge, walked over and handed it to him. "Have you eaten breakfast?" Yin he took it, touched it, it was still hot, and nodded. "Then drink it while it's hot." Bai Shan turned to leave, suddenly remembered halfway through, took out a paper-wrapped candy from his purse and put it on his table, saying, "Here, sweet of." Yin Or looked up at him suspiciously, "Did Miss Jo give it to you?" Bai Shan glanced at him and said, "This candy is mine." Even if it was the candy given by Manbao, it was for him, and it was his intention to transfer it or not. Yin Or glanced at him and accepted the candy. The whole class has been quietly watching this side, and seeing their interaction, they are all shocked. Goodbye. Yin Or opened the bamboo tube, a bitter medicinal smell wafted from it, and without thinking about it, he took the medicine as usual after testing the temperature. Yin he drank the medicine, slowly closed the lid, and rinsed his mouth with the tea beside him before looking at the candy on the desk. After thinking about it, he still peeled off the paper and put the sugar inside in his mouth. Yin Or did not eat less candy when he was a child. After all, he had to drink medicine when he was a child, but it was the first time that he had eaten such sweet candy. Yin Or was stunned for a while before she could react, and then she was reluctant to chew the sugar. He lowered his eyes and glanced at the medicine cartridge at hand, got up and took it to Bai Shan. Bai Shan took it. Yin Or paused for a while, and then said awkwardly, "Thank you." Bai Shan raised his eyes to look at him. "No thanks, by the way, she said that she will give you a medicine bag to help you sleep. If you put it under the pillow, it should help you sleep." He glanced at the bluish black in his eyes. He used to think that he was in poor health before, but now it seems that it is because of insomnia. Bai Shan, who has always slept on his pillow, has occasionally experienced insomnia. He knows that feeling is very painful, and this person has suffered from insomnia for many years, which is even more painful. Yin He's chest was slightly ups and downs, and his eyes were a little red. He blinked, and immediately lowered his head so that no one could see him. He just answered in a low voice and went back to his seat to sit down. The whole class has been watching quietly, and now his mouth is slightly open, his face is dumbfounded. This is reconciliation. It's not like, was Yin Or about to cry just now? It's not like crying from being bullied, like being moved. It's not a girl's house, why do you cry so much? Next update around 4 p.m.